Let's go to a different yard. This one is Larry Hoover has had his sentence commuted by Donald Trump. This is Mr. Hoover right here in 1973. Larry Hoover has been serving the sentence since 1973. Yes. So
he was a menace.
This is Larry Hoover when he was 22 years old. This is right after shooting that landed him in jail for 200 years.
Menace, baby.
Look at that here. But let's read it. A day after Donald Trump's stunning decision to commute the federal life sentence of Larry Hoover, lawyers for the Chicago-born Gangster Disciples founder were singing the president's praises, while Chicago's new FBI boss told the Tribune that Hoover deserves to be in prison. Trump abruptly ended Hoover's long quest to win early release under the First Step Act by granting him a full What's this word right here? He commuted his sentence of Wednesday. He commuted his sentence on Wednesday, directing the U.S. Bureau of Prisons to release him immediately, according to the copy of the documents provided by Hoover's legal team. Now, this is what people should also be aware of. Hoover is still serving a 200-year sentence for his state case. The case that landed him in jail, he's still serving a 200-year sentence for that conviction for murder, and most likely will stay behind bars at least for the time being. The president of the United States has the authority to pardon whoever he wants, FBI special agents in Chicago. Douglas said during an interview on unrelated topics, I think Larry Hoover caused a lot of damage in this city and deserves to be in prison, and he will continue to be in prison in the state system. So let's just break that down in kind of step by step. So Larry Hoover went down in the 70s for murder. They gave Larry Hoover 200 years for murder, which is still outrageous. That was their way. If I had to guess, that was their way of saying, we know you're a gang leader of the GDs. We know you're this, that, and the third. Even though a murder only carries so long, we're going to give you the absolute most time we can possibly give you. And that was that. That happened in 1973. Now, Larry Hoover started going up for try to get a parole release in 1995. That's what that first picture of him sitting next to his wife was. And in his fight to get free in 1997, they gave him 6 consecutive life sentences for basically saying he still ran the GD card from inside the jail. So they said he was a gang leader, he was a menace to society, and they gave him 6 consecutive life sentences, which landed him in ADX Max in Colorado, that jail where you in a room with nothing but a little mirror. I don't even know if you got a mirror. I think they let you take a picture of yourself once a year just so you can see what you look like. Excuse me, I'm allergic to this type of shit. But they give you 1 phone call a year, I believe, and you get to come out maybe once a week to take a shower, and you live like that.
They read your mail on the screen.
They read your mail on the screen. You have no contact with the outside world at all. That's what that 6-year life sentence gave him, right? So Trump has commuted that sentence, so he's no longer a federal inmate. Now, since he's not a federal inmate, they're saying the state ruling still stands. The 200 years he got for that murder still stands, so he's not getting out tomorrow. As of right now, he's still serving 200 years for the murder he committed in 1973. You was looking up some fun facts?
Yeah, the president cannot commute a state sentence. So he gonna have to deal with that on the shoulder. You know, when I first heard this, I was like, hip, hip, hooray. You know, Larry Hoover, Big Meech, back on the streets, baby. You feel me? But when Trump was going on all this pardon run he was doing, NBA young boy, a couple non-tax paying citizens and all like that, pardon everybody. When it came down to Larry Hoover, he said commuted. And I was like, what's the difference between a commute and pardon? And clemency, So I went just looked it up just now. He still got to face that 200 years. The win for Larry Hoover here so far is the fact that he don't have to be in 23-hour, 23-hour lockdown, and that he'll probably be on mainline at his old age of 76.
Yeah, something like that.
At his old age of 76. Excuse me. And because that man been on, he ain't been able. You can't communicate with no other inmates. He just told you all the fun facts of how they getting down in ADX. And Larry Hoover has been saying for the longest that he's not that person no more. He has no ties to this gang or that gang. He's not running anything. He's not the person he used to be, which I fully believe. You're gonna have some type of epiphany or some God moments where it just come down to you, and you look at your situation and you be like, you know what, something got to change. Just even for my own self, even if I don't never get out of jail, something got to change. I want to be right with God, or whoever his higher power is, if that's how he getting down, just for his own peace of mind, sitting somewhere, being mad that you in this situation or somebody else got you in this situation, you got to take fault for it and you got to try to make a change, and I think Larry Hoover has done that. But we just wanted to touch on this, to let people know that Larry Hoover is still in jail. More than likely, he will be moved from ADX and be able to be in the regular population. It don't sound like a lot to us, or to the regular air, but for him, it's definitely a win. It's not his freedom, but he gets a little bit,
more freedom.
As far as doing life in jail and all that stuff and visits and all like that. So there's still a lot of work to do. And I definitely want to give a shout out to Charleston White. Charleston White has been on the Larry Hoover run, along with a lot of other different names, like Drake and Kanye and all like that, to get Larry Hoover out of that 23-hour lockdown situation. So shouts out to those guys. Somewhat of a snap your finger type moment for Larry Hoover. I'm pretty sure he wish he was free within his last final days, whatever that will be. Nobody knows. But just wanted to bring that to you because I was definitely confused when I heard it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people assume he should be walking out the gates.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you hear that, like, oh well, he free. You know what I'm saying? Because pardon, you free.
Yeah.
Next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know how we are though. We pay attention to detail.
Yeah. Exactly.
He got commuted.
He got commuted.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on. Okay, so he got to go back to a regular main line, which might be a little wake up for him. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna lay. I'm pretty sure it's enough respect for Larry Hoover to lay out the carpet, definitely within them walls, right? Number two is we know he's not running nothing. First off, he's been in that solitude. It's not nothing you can really say when you're locked up and you only get to call your people once every 6 months. And they read all their mail. You're not running nothing.
Hold on. You seen that movie? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
It's about the other race, though, right?
Yeah, the other race.
About the whites. Yeah,
you seen
the
that?
Whites. Yeah,
you seen that?
It's a movie though.
But hey, that's how I go though. You a boss hog frog? You feel me? Where do you think the top dogs go?
Yeah, no, they go up there.
Yeah.
That's where they got him past that though. They got him with what's the dude who had everybody kill themselves? Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Jim Jones?
They got him with the Jim Joneses and the Oklahoma City Bombers and the Royal. They got them like that. It's past what that was. That's like the top of the prison. So you still got some type of communication. They got him locked up. But let's say
I don't know about that, bro. That movie. I can't think of the name right now.
I know you're talking about. That's a good movie.
Yeah, that was a 1 hour of freedom.
Yeah,
he
came out of the pod. To the little cage, right?
Yeah, the cage, yeah. With no pod time. It's
but the guards are still keeping them lit. Yeah. Okay, yeah, true. But I do believe Larry Hoover ain't on that.
Nah, I can agree with you on that.
And in the second, the other part of that, just growing up and being in the streets and just being outside and you can see what's going on. Youngsters don't care about what a Larry Hoover got to say. You know what I'm saying? The further down you go in generations, the more the separation gap is as far as when it comes to a connection. And I'm not from Chicago. I don't know exactly what the GDs and BDs do.
That's just a black thing.
That's just a black thing.
The further you get down, there's no structure.
I traveled, moved around enough. I done been around enough cities over here to know The old niggas in your hood don't got no say so with the young niggas in your hood. The young niggas in their hood don't get along with each other. They don't care about nothing. They rename shit. They change territories. They change gangs. They mix shit. They're not there. There's no reasoning. There's no structure. So I know that old Larry Hoover car. You know, they might say on King David, on Larry. They might say that, but that holds no weight in the street no more. I ain't gonna say no weight.
That's what you just said.
I ain't gonna say no weight. That's why I quickly retracted. There is them key members in every neighborhood, probably older, that got some people directly aligned with him, and they gonna hold some type of power. But I doubt he even care about any of that. I think he just care about living out the final days with his family. You know what I'm saying? His son, his wife, his grandkids. I'm sure he got some grandkids now, and I don't think he's gonna be able to like just to move the streets like that. If they did let him out and he was on that, I don't think he would be able to do what he could do once upon a time back in the 1970s and 80s. I think it just wouldn't be that. But that's neither here nor there. I'm glad Donald Trump commuted. Donald Trump on the roll right now. He just pardoned YoungBoy. So YoungBoy has full access to go on his tour. And he no more checking in from probation. He can get high now if he want to. Shit. Mm-hmm. He can go do whatever he want to do. All them restrictions is gone. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, Larry Hoover getting him out of ADX Max. That's no way for no human being to live. Period, point blank. Especially somebody that old and somebody who really, okay, if y'all say y'all got him for a murder in 1973, to add 6 life sentences on 20 years later while he's trying to get out of jail on some regular stuff, now all of a sudden y'all adding 6 more life sentences on. I want to know what they had to make this man that valuable or that dangerous a decade, 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? Like, what shots was he still calling back then? We don't know, but the FBI definitely doesn't like him. But the FBI doesn't like anybody that can gather black men together and make them fall under one umbrella, whether it be for good or bad. The FBI just doesn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just is what it is.
There's definitely a war going on. Message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they ain't with us, man. They got us fooled, brothers. They got us fooled. Yeah. In other news, in the same regard, Mr. Wack 100 is releasing some type of news article that said Larry Hoover is snitching, or he snitched way back in 1973. And I just want to say that sometimes just leave stuff alone, bro. Whether or not he snitched or not, bro, it's just not needed right now. And I know Wack 100 has a squirrel or issue with Jay Prince, who's been big on the Free Larry Hoover movement. So he'll do anything just to tarnish. Once he's into it with somebody, he'll tarnish anything. And if you read it, it's just a newspaper article. And it's like, come on, man, you reaching.
Yeah, that's not why he has a squabble with Jay Prince, though. Yeah.
It was over the documentary, right?
Yeah, it was over the documentary, and it was over the possession of it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And trying to get it from the lady.
Yeah.
And all like that, so yeah.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's what led to him throwing up a fucking newspaper article.
He's an exposer. I don't think that had nothing to do with it, bro. I think because he is the exposer, and I think everybody, that has some jail time or supposed to be a major household name or something like that, and they got some dirt or supposedly dirt. I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. He don't like Jay Prince for Jay Prince trying to punk an old lady and get the footage. That she didn't spend our whole life, getting, like that.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't right, it ain't right. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah, trying to press a line on it. I think that's what that was.
Yeah, that don't sound cool.
Yeah, it's not